Hi, it's Brian Newman with the Spotlight of Business Owner Show, and today we're thrilled to have Frank Ceballos. Hi, Frank. How are you?
Good, Brian. Good morning, and thank you so much for this opportunity. It's good to see you today.
Yeah, likewise. Likewise. No, I'm so thrilled. I know we've met in a couple of my meetings that we've had, but I haven't really gotten to know your business too well. So he's got a great business, consulting, business leadership. Um, Before we get into it, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into that? That'd be
Yeah,
great.
that's a great question, Brian. So, my background stems for over 25 years, and I've had the privilege of three amazing career paths. So, my first stint in the career was in retail. I spent 15 years in grocery retail, where I was fortunate to have tremendous success. And some like to say that I had an early midlife crisis. At the age of 30, I decided to leave retail and become an Arizona State Trooper.
Oh,
And
wow.
during that time, yeah, I know, right? It's a big difference going from the retail world to being a law enforcement officer. And that was a dream of mine to be an officer and to give
Uh-huh.
back to my community. And I was very blessed to be able to do that. It was a very difficult time to go into law enforcement because there wasn't a lot of positions when I made this decision. It was back in early
Oh, wow.
2009. So it was a chore to get into it. And I did that for over about 8 years. And I realized that I wanted to do more with my life. Just was still kind of searching. And I ended up back at state government, and during the time of being with state agencies, I was able to define and enhance my skill set, which is what I'm doing today. So I've been very blessed for the career paths that I've had. It has helped me become who I am and helped me fulfill my purpose in life. So I'm really blessed for what I've been able to do.
Oh, wow. Wow, what a background. No, so yeah, when you meet with people, what's the normal uh procedures, like, and who's your ideal client?
Oh, that's a great question. So I guess it would kind of start with having a good understanding of my business and what I do. So there's kind of two sides of my business. So I'm an executive coach and consultant. So I help entrepreneurs, mostly in the service industry, but I help entrepreneurs get unstuck so they can scale their business. And then the second side of my business is organizational training and development. So I help corporations help their teams grow by providing either leadership, communication, team building training, and even sales training, which, when you really look at it, is leadership training. But that is the second side of my business. So I love helping organizations that are maybe not able to provide that consistent training. I'm able to come in, and I can do this two ways. I can come into their physical facility and put this
Mhm.
training on in person, or we can do it Zoom, whichever is convenient for them. There are benefits between the two. In person,
Uh-huh.
I find it to be more impactful. Uh,
Uh-huh.
but we can do training through Zoom. We've learned that over the last 5 years since COVID.
Oh, okay. Frank, so yeah, I mean, do you prefer like working with a smaller company? What's the largest company that you could assist with and train? It sounds like you've done team leading or team building, and who would you recommend?
So when it comes to the entrepreneurs, the small business owners, so anywhere between 1 to up to 125 employees is a sweet spot for the entrepreneur. When it
Oh,
comes to organizational training and development, honestly, truly, the sky's the limit. If they are willing to invest, I can train them. So the reason why I say that is during my time with the state as a state trooper, I was responsible for training the state employees here in Arizona on civilian active shooter, which is how to enhance your chance of survival in an extreme and violence encounter. So I had to
oh,
train thousands of employees throughout the state of Arizona. So I'm able to facilitate and train large groups because of what I've
oh,
done in the past.
oh, okay, okay. Yeah, and I know that you've worked with a lot of people. What are you seeing are the biggest challenges that people are facing?
Well, when it comes to, let's start with the entrepreneurial, the person that has a business, maybe they started it or they're about to start it. So either way, one of the things that I've noticed that they're struggling with is how to move the ball forward, meaning keeping focus of their priorities while they have all this other stuff coming at them, and understanding that not everything is critical. Certain things are
Uh,
more important than others, but trying to figure out how to discern that, how to, like, what is the, not just the best thing, the good thing, what is the best thing that needs to be completed right now for my business to thrive. And a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that. You see, when you have a business and you take it to the market and you're out there and you're building it, you're passionate, you love what you're doing. But then if you're not cognizant of making sure your foundation is stable, meaning sure that you have a strategic plan, a plan of where you want to be in 5 years. If you don't have metrics to track your progress, you really don't know if you're really achieving what you want. And that's how I help entrepreneurs. I help them build that course. I help make sure that their foundation is solid. So as they're growing, it doesn't crumble. That is the worst thing you ever, you want to see for your business, is not having a solid foundation.
yeah, no, I've seen that happen to some businesses, especially after they've been in business for a short time. I think they say like if you can make it past the first 3 years of owning a business and running a business, then you're on to your way to success. But yeah, I was going to ask you, Frank, what's the best way our viewers can reach you, sign up, maybe even read about your background and the services you offer?
Oh, there are so many great ways. So let's go with the first one. My phone number, 480-215-6068. Love talking to people. You can always go to LinkedIn. I'm very heavy presence on LinkedIn. And then our website, which is leadwithexcellencellc.com, has a bunch of information about the courses, the training, and the accountability programs that I offer for businesses and organizations.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, so do you have a story that you want to share about someone that you've worked with that had a major breakthrough?
That's a great question, because there's just so many. And here's what I'll tell you is, I had an individual that I worked with, and I'm going to leave their name out of it, but I will tell you this: as we were working together, there's a saying in leadership that you have to let go to move up. Okay, so you have to let go of things that you've been doing for a while to go to the next level. And it's very true. It's very, very true. But sometimes, for us to move ourselves to another level, we have to, maybe it's best for us not to just let go of things that we've been doing, but actually maybe take a step back. Maybe it's the right time for you to step away from your current role and recenter yourself, get yourself right, get your family, right. Maybe you need to spend more time with your family because it's not been a priority. This is where this individual had to learn that they had to understand that it was okay for them to take a step back,
Mhm.
refocus, and by doing so, they weren't letting others down. They were actually helping others, because they were showing others that they cared about themselves so much that they needed to do this. And by taking this step back to refocus and adjust themselves, they were able to, uh, in with a very short period of time, their growth took off. And when their growth took
Oh,
off, they took
wow.
on another role within a very short period of time that was more than the role that they left, and they were thriving in it. I mean, they were a very focal point for an organization, and other organizations came to this person for advice and input and assistance. So they went from being in a role that was lower, and then after a short period of time, after they reset themselves, they were able to go on to a lot higher role.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was because they had to unlock their full potential, they had to take a step back to see it.
Interesting. Yeah, and are you having more success with bigger companies with a lot of staff or smaller companies? And who is the smallest that you would take on? I don't know if we've covered that, but
Yeah, so right now at the smallest is a one. Actually, it's two people. The
oh,
owner of the company, and he has one staff person. So I would say it's two. But I have worked with entrepreneurs that have just themselves, and
well,
that's the best part, especially when they're starting out, because they realize that for them to scale their business, they need somebody to hold them accountable because maybe they're not being as productive as they can be because they don't have somebody to hold them accountable. So that's the smallest. Now, honestly, right now, the corporations I'm working with are probably in the mid size. So, 50 to 100 employees to and up. But it's been more of the entrepreneurs that are trying to grow their business or get unstuck and scale their business.
oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I noticed that you went to the Maxwell leadership training. You got certified. What impact did that have on your current job and your ability to train others?
Yeah, Maxwell Leadership. So in what was it? May of 2021 is when I made a decision to become an independent Maxwell certified team member, and that has changed everything on how I do it. The culture and DNA of Maxwell Leadership is exactly the same culture that I hold, so it resonated heavily with me. So I'm able to use a lot of John Maxwell's material that he has produced in my training on top of what I create on my own. So it's a great tool to have. It helps me, it helps my clients. Uh, I don't have to recreate the wheel on some aspects. So
Uh-huh.
it saves me time, but it helps me with having John Maxwell, who is a world renowned leadership expert, and his staff. If I, that's how I get sharpened. That's how I grow. Is I tune in and get mentored by his staff and himself. So it helps me stay sharp, helps me help my clients. So that's the biggest reason why I signed up and became a independent executive director for Maxwell Leadership Team now.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Yeah, so if there's a takeaway that you want to leave the audience, what would you recommend to them?
Well, here's one thing I would say is leadership, you're not born a leader. Okay. Some people are born that have the ability to lead easier, but leadership is a skill that can be developed and needs to be sharpened every day. To grow as a leader, you have to be mindful of that. You have to put it at the forefront of what you do. So there are no born leaders. You can lead. Everybody is a leader. And a lot of people don't realize that you are a leader. If nobody's told you that today, I want to be the first. You're a leader. You wake up every day. Guess what? The first person you have to lead before you can lead others is yourself. So when you do that effectively, you're going to be able to lead a team. And I think that's the biggest takeaway I would tell people is understand that you are a leader. You can develop your leadership skills. You don't have to, nobody's born a leader, and you have greatness within you.
Okay. Frank, just one more time for the viewers, the best way to get in touch with you and sign up for your services.
Yeah. So the best way to get a hold of me, of course, is giving me a call 480-215-6068. You can also reach me at Frank at leadwithexcellence.llc.com. That's my email address. Or you can go ahead and go to our website, which is leadwithexcellence.llc.com. And LinkedIn, of course, as well. That's my favorite place to be. But those are the great places to find me. And I always love talking to people to see how we can help each other grow and reach your fullest potential.
Oh, okay, great. Well, thank you for being on here. Yeah, it's nice to see you again. And again, I encourage our viewers to reach out for his services. I've met him in person a few times now. He's quite a nice individual, and yeah, he can help your business grow. So thanks, Frank, for everything.
Thank you so much, Brian. It's great, being on here with you today, and it's always a pleasure seeing you at our events.
Thank you. Thank you so much.